Hello, Hearts of 4 players, and my name is Vanadium, and welcome to a tutorial on how to download um, a, a Git version of the mod, the Hearts of Iron 4 mod you want to play, whichever one it might be. I'm making this generic one, mainly for beginning Redux, which is a mod I'm working on right now. But let me tell you that these steps will work for any mod that you want. So whether you're playing the other end beginning, you might play on a Call or Iron Curtain, or who knows what you're playing. Black Ice. If you're playing any of that and they have a public Git public or maybe a private Git if you're a developer and you want to know how to download reliably the Git without going through Steam, this is the video for you. Now, what is Git? Git is basically a file distribution system that lets developers distribute files really easily and collaborate. And basically, it's easy for coders to just share files and just code without having to go through Steam because Steam and other platforms limit how often you update stuff, and it's hard to then redistribute to people that might be playing, which might be you guys, in an easy manner. So Git is the best platform, and most Hearts of Iron 4 mods do use GitHub or GitLab, one or the other. This will technically work for both. Okay, so uh, you will need two things. You will need to download the GitHub Desktop App. You could use there's other ways to do it, but this is the most easy way for anyone that just doesn't really want to worry too much about how things work. With the GitHub app, you just need like 2-3 buttons, and that's pretty much it. Um, so I'll download it here. The link is right here, and also hopefully, if I remember, in the description below. Just download for whichever uh, system that it is, whether it's Mac or Linux or Windows, whatever. The another thing that you'll need is the GitHub or GitLab link. Um, this is the GitHub page for end of beginning Redux, right here. You also might have GitLab. The steps are very similar. I will let you guys know what is different up in upcoming few minutes. But basically, if you're using GitHub, you want this link, and GitLab is actually very similar. You probably just want the URL. But this thing right here, so you want the username of the person who's uploading this. In this case, team dash end beginning dash redux slash end beginning. I'm pretty sure the capitalization does matter when you're putting this in. But just be aware of that. And same thing for GitLab. So once you have finished installing the GitHub app, you have something that looks like this. It might have something that says like, oh, you have welcome and get started. There might be stuff here. In this case, you want to go to this button right here, whether it's create repository, current repository. If you're a new user, it might say create repository, and you want to go here. You can click add, and you want to click clone. Clone right here. So clone is gonna go here, and if you're using GitHub, if you're using a Git from GitHub, you want to be using this tab. If you GitHub Expert Enterprise, which I don't think anyone on Hawaii 4 is using, but if you're using GitLab or any other Git program, you want to be using the URL right here, and the URL is pretty easy. You just copy the URL, the GitLab or whatever URL you're using, copy here and paste it here. Same thing here. You want to copy basically this. If you're using GitHub, you want to just type in what you see there / in the beginning. You won't see this here appear because you're using this for the first time, but because GitLab is recognizing I've downloaded this thing before, that's why it's showing up here. And then from here, you choose where you want to download it. You do not want to keep the default. What you want to do, this for most computers that are using Steam, or even Xbox, where you're gonna store it is actually you're gonna go into Documents, Paradox Interactive, Hearts Iron 4, and then there will be another folder, whether it exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then make it, called mod. And from there, you want to save it here. That's the default location of where Steam is going to store your mods. Is going to store the data for your mods. In this case, uh, depend. In this case, I do have a separate location because I'm saving it on my D drive instead of my C drive. Um, I'm gonna save it here. But as long as you're aware of where you're saving it, it's fine. And if you are unsure of where you're saving these things, again, it's most likely going to be documents, Paradox Interactive, Hearthstone 4, and mod. That's if you have not changed anything from default settings, which if you did, you would probably be aware of. If not, it's gonna be right here. And here you might have a bunch of like video files that are called UGC and then a bunch of numbers. Um, if we go to um, mod here, you'll see some of that might look like this. You might have a bunch of these files. It might use a different program of like a video program, but that is what it is. And then once you finally settle in your location, it should be again documents, Paradox Interactive, Hearts Iron 4, mod, and then in this case it's end beginning. For here. Okay, and then we're just gonna click clone, and it's gonna start downloading the mod for you guys. This is gonna take a bit, so I'll be back real quick. Okay, and we're back here. So now that we're done downloading, we see here it might say something repository and beginning. It might be a different name depending on what mod you're downloading. That's fine. You have a branch. Branches are basically like different versions. You have to ask the mod team specifically if they're using if the default branch that they've set is the version that they recommend you guys to play, and if not, maybe there's another branch. 95% of the time, if Hearts Iron 4 mods are just gonna let you just select default mod, default just to ease you guys, the players. So in this case, right now we're working on our spellbook update, so we're just gonna select here from end beginning, and there we go. Next, we go to Show in Explorer for the next steps. So once we got the Show in Explorers here, it's brought us to the location of the end beginning mod. When we go to a toy folder here, and we want the toy.mod. It might just let's see here, view. Let's see here. It might say something that says toy, and but if you have like details here on the type, it says a mod file. That's what you want to open. By default, Windows and I think also Mac. I don't know about Linux, but Macs they default are advising you to open dot mods with a video watcher, so like it thinks it's like an MP3. You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to go click a notepad or equivalent to basically just a very simple text editor, nothing like a Microsoft Word or anything like that. You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to do editor. So notepad or text editor, whatever. And notepad works too. So default for Windows, you want notepad. And then right here we got this. So this is basically a file that tells your launcher, your Hearthstone launcher, or even any other Paradox launcher, what to load. And yeah, so we want this, and this is the path. By default, if you literally just follow my steps, you don't have to edit anything in this. But it's just good to see what it is. So this is the name, and what's going to be important is the path. So I'm going to close this, and you want to actually copy this file. Copy, and you want to go to the mod folder up here, 2 folders up, and then you're going to click paste, and you're just going to put this .mod file with all the other .mods. And from here, you just open. And if you have downloading multiple mods, it might be good to name the file to the name of the mod. In this case, this dot mod is called for end beginning is called TOI. In other mods, it might be called the name of the mod. It might be called descriptor.mod. But you just have to look for a dot mod file, and from in this next to the common events GFX files, and they're eventually, and specifically you just have to make sure there's a line that says path equals something. That's what you're looking for. You want to paste it in the mod, right? And then toy. Um, Maybe if you um, you might just rename it to end beginning Redux for your Redux version, and yeah, this path has to match this. So it has to match mod slash end beginning slash toy. So you start with mod, and then you go with the folder name, and if you have an extra folder, if you might some mods might just literally have it only be one thing. So uh, I think like say Equestria War might have something that looks like this. Um, but I think like say both in the beginning and being Redux and like say Coda and Curtain, there's like two different things. So you just have to follow what you see here. So mod slash end of new beginning slash toy. Um, and basically it's just you just keep going to files until you see the common documents, all these files. So um, most likely it'll be you most mods will have something that's like a common and maybe an events and maybe a history localization. Just as long as you see those, you're in the right place. Copy this, um, and yeah, in this case, in our mod, you don't have to edit anything, but for other mods, you might have to. And from there, we will load up um the Steam launcher. So let's go load up the launcher. Mods, and let's see here. And yeah, so what you're looking for is local mods. So local mods are stuff that you download via Git or just via zip, just anything that's not via Steam or Paradox forums. Um, you can see what mod teams I might be working on. In this case, you just want to be looking for the name of the mod you just downloaded, making Redux Official Edition. Local mod is no pictures, and you just select that in your playset. I'm using an older version of the launcher because it's less laggy, but same deal. You might have something in the newer launcher, you might have something that go in the mod section. You want to add new mods to playset, and from there you can go look for it. And yeah, and after that, that should work for you guys. Um, just an extra thing now. This to use this program, the GitHub, every time you want to update your Git, because unlike Steam, things don't necessarily update automatically. They only update if you want to, which could be useful because you might be playing a campaign with a certain mod, and you don't want to update the mod um, before you finish your campaign, else things in your save might break. That makes sense. What you do, there's a button that says fetch origin or pull origin. That is basically your update button. So fetch means check for update, and and sometimes you might have something that says pull origin after you click this. Pull means download update. And once you do that, it's gonna download, and then from there, then you can start your new campaign. That's all. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully I made it generic enough so this will work for literally any mod. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and have fun.